update on the proposed immigration policy change in Ireland. Remember, I told you last week that the Minister for Justice in Ireland is bringing a proposal to the cabinet that will be published later this year. And in that policy, he's saying that he wants Ireland to not look like it's more favorable to people because of the immigration policy change that is happening in the UK. So the UK is reforming their immigration policy, and Ireland, the Minister for Justice in Ireland, want to make sure that people don't see Ireland as an easy place to go to, or a place that people can just assume that because Ireland has a welfare system or some kind of not very strict immigration policy, that people will be coming into Ireland, that will attract people into Ireland, and he wants to prevent that from happening. So he has brought some proposal to the cabinet to get approval. And I also told you that we're not really certain what is in that policy or in that proposal yet. So we're going to wait until that is properly published. But the reason I'm bringing this update is that the Taoiseach, who is the Prime Minister for Ireland, gave a hint about what is in that proposal when he attended the G20 summit in South Africa last week. And I'm just going to read out what the Taoiseach said in that summit, okay? So, Taoiseach Michael Martin has confirmed that a certain type of welfare payment paid to people seeking Irish citizenship will be taken into consideration as part of the application process, okay? So the government is due to consider proposal from the Minister for Justice, Jim O'Callaghan, that will reform Ireland's migration policy. Okay, the government is going to progress changes to the asylum system here this week. So, that it's likely that will be happening this week, Wednesday. Attending the G20 summit in South Africa, the Taoiseach indicated that those seeking citizenship could be prevented from doing so if they receive certain welfare payment over a specific period. This is very important to think about because I saw something on the Irish Nationalist Party Facebook this morning where they said just a straight line there that those who are refugees in Ireland will not be eligible for citizenship if they are getting social welfare payment. That is just like a blanket statement because it's not exactly like that. It's not everybody. It's not all type of social welfare payment that will not be eligible for citizenship application. Because even the Taoiseach was asked specifically that does that mean that if, let's say, for instance, a woman gets pregnant and a woman who was seeking refuge in Ireland before gets pregnant and she has a baby and then she gets child benefit, will that mean that woman will not be eligible to apply for citizenship? And the Taoiseach said there's nothing like that in that proposal. That is not the kind of welfare payment that they're looking at. So that means it's not a blanket. It's not everybody who is a refugee or asylum seeker who is getting a social welfare payment that will not be eligible. It's a certain social welfare payment, and we won't know until the real policy is published before the end of this year, okay? So it is important to keep an eye out and to also get the clear, the clear information there before we really put out something that will just put people in fear for nothing. So I'll continue with what the Taoiseach said. The changes going to cabinet will also tighten the rules around family unification application. This is the one that I want all of us to pay very good attention to because I am interested to know why or what kind of policies is being proposed in terms of family unification. Who would this affect or what kind of what kind of way would that change? So, plus there will be a focus on any debt owing to the state. So again, this is another thing that I'm not sure how that will work because the Taoiseach is saying here that that they will tighten the rule around family unification application and also a consideration for anyone that is owing the state. So I don't know what that is, but we will find out when the policy is published this year. So why those and this is a continuation now, why those granted refugee status may have to wait for 5 years rather than the current 3 years before applying for full citizenship. So this is another way that that this policy will change as well. So before, those who get refugee status only can apply for citizenship after they've been here for 3 years, but that is also going to change, and it will now be like 5 years. That's what is being proposed as well. And look, and all of these things is what has been proposed. But the Irish Refugee Council, they are objecting to this proposal, and they have some concerns here, which I'm also going to read out. So what the Irish Refugee Council are saying, that they are saying that the proposed changes are deeply alarming. Okay, they severely, according to them, that these proposed changes severely undercut two key pillars of refugee integration. One of them, a clear route to citizenship and the ability to reunite with family. Okay, they also said that if this proposal is adopted, these policies will keep families apart, separating children from their parents and separating partners, leaving loved ones languishing in their countries, potentially at risk of persecution. Okay, finally, the Irish Refugee Council also added that that these proposed policy will also actively undermine refugees' ability to build stable lives in Ireland, keeping people who have already been found to be at risk of persecution in a permanent second-class status. This is really alarming. It's truly alarming. But we don't have much to say until we see what will be in the real policy when it's published later this year. So I'm just coming here to give you an update, like I promised. So thank you for listening. What do you think in all of this? What do you think about this proposal? Please like this video, share it so that others can also hear about it, and come back here for more updates, as I will keep my eye out for when the full policy will be published, and I'll come here and explain that the way that many people can understand. Thank you and have a good day.